Just 1 month ago, 2 children ages 6 and 4 drowned at Lake Georgetown.
The children describe incidents of intentional abuse.
On July 29, 2013 in Texas, the foster mother of 2 children called 911. It was 6:45 in the evening, and the mother 2 hours before had left the child in a dark room because of how much trouble she was that day. When the chief of a volunteer fire department came by, he found the child dead on the floor. Her name was Alexandria Hill. She was a foster child that was 2 years old when she died from the abuse given to her. When we think about abuse in the foster care system, we think about what is portrayed in film. Many of the films with abuse in the system are set in the old times where there were orphanages that children lived in, but it is actually a huge problem in real life. Many children are horribly abused or neglected by their foster parents, which leads to the deaths of foster children. In a recent study created by the Legal Center for Foster Care and Education, students in the foster care system are diagnosed with PTSD twice the rate of U.S. war veterans because of the abuse that they experience. Which is horrible because in the UN Declaration of Human Rights, it says in Article 25 that children should have the same well-being and health as any person should. It's a harsh truth that many of us seem to forget. Foster children, many who have left their homes from their parents' abuse or neglect, now live with more abuse. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, they are more likely to have depression, anxiety, behavioral problems, poor health, obesity, asthma, learning disabilities, and ADHD than children who don't go into the foster care system. This can also make many children abused or not cared for by their foster parents by their mental or physical problems. For more information, I talked to Allison Fay, a worker at the Jacob Wardenling Resource Center that works with the Zero Abuse Project, which tries to stop child maltreatment. She was a student who knew Jacob Wardenling, a boy who became missing in 1989 until a few years ago when they found his remains by the person who killed him. I talked with her about her job and some questions about foster care abuse.
So I'm Allison. I'm the director for the Jacob Wardenling Resource Center. We're one of the programs under the Zero Abuse Project. And Zero Abuse Project is a national nonprofit working to end all forms of child maltreatment. So my particular role is particularly with missing people, child sexual abuse prevention, but we're part of a bigger team that's working to end child abuse.
All right, said that there's a statistic that says 1 out of 333 foster children are neglected or abused when they enter the system. Do you think that it's more than that?
Yes. We know in our cases of kids who are trafficked, they're predominantly recruited from foster cares and from group homes. Mm-hmm. And so just looking at the fact that our offenders are very good at looking for kids who they think don't have anyone to tell. And so we know that they do traffic kids who are living in the foster care system. So the rates of, when you look at the fact that they're targeted more, we know that then the rates of abuse are likely more because when you have offenders targeting a population over and over again, it's not the kid's fault, you know? Mm-hmm. So yes, I do think it is far more than that.
It is true about the things she has said, especially with the problems that many children in the foster care experience. Many foster children are abused sexually. From NCBI, girls between the ages of 4 to 17 in the foster care system, 81% were sexually abused, and 68% were sexually abused from more than one person. The same study showed that 84% were physically abused, 95% were neglected from either food, water, shelter, or psychological needs, and 51% of them were classified as the neglect as severe. This is a huge problem if more and more children are going into the foster care system from the opioid crisis. So, what can you do about this problem? You can donate money to many organizations near you. There's the Jacob Wardenling Resource Center in Minneapolis and the Zero Abuse Project in St. Paul. If you know someone in the foster care system that is being abused by their foster parents, what can they do?
We always suggest that people report if they're worried about a kid because Most children don't tell. Statistically, if kids are being harmed, they're not the one who's going to say there's a problem. It usually takes someone else interceding and making that call on their behalf. And that can be scary and that can be intimidating. So we say you can call agencies like ours to just talk about it before you call and get some suggestions and where to call. And there's other child abuse reporting hotlines where if people are scared to make a call to child protection or to law enforcement, they can start with us or an agency like us as sort of a buffer to talk through their concerns and to help give them the tools to make that call on behalf of kids.
All right. There is honestly so much you can do to stop this. The more it becomes known that this is a problem, the less it will happen. 1% of children go into the foster care system each year, and May is National Foster Care Month, which tries to spread awareness on foster care children. We can make this better for the generations who have to live in foster care.